Start.
Is that for me? Good evening, everyone. The Connie Warren, a resident of the town of Baldwin, in the county of Cumberland, and in the state of Maine. I, Deborah Wakefield, town clerk, consistent with the method of notification adopted by the town of Baldwin, certify that the direction of Constance Warren, I notified the voters of Baldwin of the time and place of the special town meeting. I posted a true copy of the within warrant at the town clerk's office, the East Baldwin Post Office, the West Baldwin Post Office, and the Baldwin Community Center, a conspicuous public place within Baldwin, on November 6, 2023, which at least is 7 days next prior to Election Day. You are hereby required to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town of Baldwin in the Sac County qualified by law to vote in said town affairs, to meet at the Baldwin Town Office on Tuesday, November 14, 2023, at 6 o'clock in the evening, then and there to act on the following articles to wit. Article 1, to choose a moderator for said meeting. Nominations?
I nominate Norm Blake.
Can I get 3 written hands? Come on, please.
I thought I was just approving it. No, I don't want more.
2 out of 3, Norm gets it.
Yeah, right.
I know this is a secret ballot, but what do you do?
Norm, you got it.
Who has more fun, huh?
Do you swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and other states as long as you can, oh my goodness,
Yes.
continue a citizen there, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Do you swear that you will faithfully discharge to you the best of your abilities the duties that come upon you as a moderator according to the Constitution and laws of the state, so help you God?
Indeed, I do.
All right. Right there. Don't say his name. Up here, go, look.
Oh, that's right, I need my hand. Do I get? Okay. I do need one of that. Article 2, to see if the town will vote to approve the Town of Baldwin, Maine Fire Department ordinance. Do we hear a motion?
Move. Second.
Moved and seconded. It's time for discussion. Anybody have questions, comments, anything they'd like to bring up? It's gonna be a tough meeting. Hearing none. All those in favor of Article 2 as read, please indicate by raising your hand. Those opposed? The vote appears to be unanimous. Article 2 is approved. Article 3, to entertain a motion to adjourn. Do we have such a motion? Moved and seconded. Motion to adjourn is not debatable. All those in favor of adjournment of this meeting, please raise your hand. Those opposed? We are unanimously adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you.
That was tough. I got a question for you, though. It says in here that the fire chief shall appoint the firefighters, and the ordinance is immediately in effect. Right now, do we have any authorized firefighters in town?
Yeah.
Because it didn't say anything about grandfather and grandmother.
No.
I'm just curious.
We'll take care of that in the next meeting.
I hope so. Okay, I guess it's time for a selectmen's meeting, isn't it?
Yep.
We'll carry on.
All right, call it to order. First thing on the agenda is read and approve October 17th, 2023 minutes.
Motion to approve.
Seconded?
Discussion? All in favor? Now you sign it. And, read and approve November 14th, 2023 warrants.
Motion to approve.
Seconded?
All in favor?
All paper shuffling.
And I think is Cumberland County assessing supplement for 2 girls penalty.
Did we read through that? No. I didn't see that.
Okay. They didn't qualify.
Haven't said in the tree growth plan.
Next thing, walking path. Tom White.
See here? I'll talk a little bit about it, and I guess we'll wait for him to show up. But, he's the gentleman who's, buying the property across the road,
Yep.
put in the disc golf course and walking path. he came in and talked to me last week, or maybe a week ago, or 2 weeks ago now. He has this machine that just turned right through the woods, tearing up everything in front of it, making a 6-foot wide walking path. And, he agreed that he would, come to us with a proposal based on the walking paths that I laid out on the town property back here. As to, how much path he could make for the $8,000 that we have. So we're just waiting for him to come in and.
They go actually, yeah.
Chris had some concerns about where it was gonna go through the town garage area.
I'm okay with whenever he wants to look at it or whatever, to walk, or, my biggest concern is that the projected quick rough draft that I saw of the proposed path basically cut between the garage and the sand pit. It went right across the road, so I just had some safety concerns on people walking while we're moving equipment around, or hauling hauling sand up for the winter, or going down to get gravel or anything like that. Also, we have a relatively great community here, but it also invites a lot of people to walk the property where we keep a lot of expensive, nice equipment that we should keep nice and whatnot.
Stuff has disappeared down there before.
On multiple occasions.
Yeah.
So, I just wanna make sure that we're protecting ourselves on that avenue, not welcoming any more guests than we need, and safety for the residents of walking, or any public person walking on the path.
Yeah.
Because I think the projected path that I saw had it walking through there, and then walking basically up our road that we used to haul the salt sand on. That's my only concern.
Okay, well, before we actually do anything, he's gotta come in, walk a path with him, with his GPS thing.
Yep.
And come back, get it all approved, we'll talk to you.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, he wants to connect that walking path to the one that he's proposing on his property, so it would cross over 113. Good place for people to, interact with traffic and stuff, but.
That's broader.
Yeah.
That's luck.
Probably build a tunnel underneath the road.
Over.
Oh, yeah, an overpass, yeah.
We'll build a wildlife one at the same time.
Maybe the state will do that. All right, well, if he comes in, we'll.
Yeah.
Plow truck budget, consideration, purchase or lease. I know you and Chris have been catching it over.
Yeah, so we have the situation, can you give us the status on the plowed trucks?
The 09 is still currently sitting over to Justin Levies. I talked to him last week. I tried to get a hold of him today, and he didn't answer, so I assumed he was probably up in the woods. So that's still currently sitting over there. When I talked to him, he says that, his words actually were, "I don't want to talk to you about it." I said, okay. No, a lot of rust, obviously, when he was taking it apart to put the new rear end in. A lot of the bolts were rusted, backing plates, all that good stuff. So, not sure on where he's at on it currently, other than it was in his shop, and hopefully it's going back together soon. I did talk to Allegiant today. He had a ship date for the rear end.
That's for the,
21 International. He received the ship date. According to the ship date, it was on Friday, but has no confirmation that it actually got shipped. And has no lead time on the shipping. He did tell me that it has to go from Meritor to Chicago to International's facility to be put on the bench test, to go through all the workings of it, and then from Chicago, it has to be shipped to here, and then they have to put it back together. With that being said, they still don't actually know why it's doing what it's doing. So, we don't have a timeline yet, other than it's supposedly shipped, but he couldn't get confirmation that it did. We don't have a timeline when it's gonna be put back together or when it even gets back to here. And then the other problem is that we don't know why it's destroying rear ends. They still don't know why everything's getting out of whack, why it's not staying aligned, why the brakes keep coming out of alignment, because of everything else coming out of alignment. So we don't know what the actual problem is, but we're gonna start throwing parts, well, they're gonna throw parts at it.
So,
It's
the
under
24
warranty.
truck.
Huh?
What about the 24 truck?
It's been built, that's what I got. He doesn't have a ship date on when it's getting shipped to Maine. It'll go to Bangor. I've talked to Steve Holston up to HB Fairfield. He says, when they get me the truck, it'll depend on when it gets put together. It will fall in the sequence. If he gets it before the beginning of December, it'll be built in December. But it takes a month to 2 months to build it, depending on how many trucks are in front of it. If he gets it middle of December, it doesn't get built till, it doesn't get put on the books to be built until the next month. So then, like I said, it'll depend on how many trucks are in front of it before it actually gets into the line. So potentially still looking sometime, hopefully February to March on that.
Thank you, Chris. So that leads into the question about possible purchase of another truck to get us through the winter, or to have something available through the snow season. Chris and I took a look at the capital investment plan for vehicles, and what other funds are available, and have determined that there is enough money to go out and purchase a truck today, if we can get the money approved through a town meeting quick enough. And we would do that by using the equipment reserve account dollars and the unspent ARPA funds. That would be enough to go out and purchase a truck, and you could drive it away and use it this winter. And also to continue the purchase of the 24 truck, which is still being built and being shipped or whatever. So, just to let you know that we think there's money there, but to do it will require some moving money around and approval of a special town meeting. Approval of moving funds and approval of moving, moving capital investment plan funds around, and also approval of the ARPA funds, because those have to be approved by town meeting. That's it. Just let you know it can be done. I think we will probably try to schedule a special town meeting soon, as fast as we can, actually, so that the truck won't get out from underneath us.
How many plow trucks you got right now? Just to plow snow?
To plow snow, I currently have one ton.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's what we have.
That one ton is going to New England Diesel tomorrow, and I'm picking up the other 1 ton. So I'll still have one, but we have one.
And the grader, how's that?
Waiting for him to get back out here to examine it.
Yeah.
And start winding through it.
So we're down to one truck.
One truck and a backhoe and a front end loader, which would be an interesting day.
Yeah.
I did go out and salt last night with one truck. I got a call from dispatch to go out and salt some of the roads.
Yeah.
So I did go out and do that with one truck. It took me, 4 hours or so, but
Yeah, that's how desperate we are.
I got it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yep. All right. Okay. real time log and access over town-owned property. So that's pictures you were taking, that's on town,
Yep,
town property?
yep. There's two of them there, yeah. So, I talked to Andy Anderson on the phone, on the 8th of November, and his contention is that that's a road that's been used, and it's been used before for that, and therefore it's
Okay to use it.
okay to use it. Our discussion with the Andersons prior to that, they asked to buy that lot to gain access to his property,
Mm-hmm.
and we said no. And then there was a purchaser of the lot that asked about getting right-of-way across the property, and we said no. Because I believe the deed to his property has access through another way, through Sebago.
Yeah.
So anyway, what, they pretty much made that lot a road. And, the one thing that is a problem out there is we don't know exactly where the boundaries are on, the town owns a good portion of that district, but we don't know exactly where the boundaries are.
Yeah.
And, I still think that maybe we ought to have the property, the portions of it that we know we own logged, and any money that we have put toward doing some surveys.
Because I think it would be worth it, yeah.
Deed research and surveys, and, you know.
How to
put
get
some-
that cleared up, yeah.
Get it cleared up.
Yeah.
We don't know if the people that are living there are staying to their sides of the line. and-
Right.
So, my thought is, since he's used our property to get to his, that maybe we ought to use his to get to ours.
Right? Because, well, yeah.
Because, you know, it's going to require access to, I don't know if we've got a map here. So, what he's done is he's come right across here, whether it's there or the middle, I'm not sure. The yellow is what is town-owned. But we're not sure about these boundaries, if they cross over or not.
So have them log off this section here.
Log off this section and probably around in here too.
Because we have to be careful not to go over
Yep,
these properties here.
yeah, and so the forester would have to go out and mark it off.
Yep.
I guess the first thing we do is to get an estimate from him of what he thinks is, but he thought there were some good mature pines in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That would work, harvesting. It's far enough away so that it's not really gonna impact anybody, I don't think, except for, you know, these people, they're gonna hear it, but,
Yeah.
he's over there harvesting now. I don't know. I'd have to call, the forester and see what he says, but that's a thought. And then, when it's all done, I'll put some kind of a barrier in there,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's not a road.
Yep. Yep. All right. CEO application interviews. So, we got a couple here that, need interviews. Just two, right, Robin?
Well, one got
Oh.
canceled for Friday,
Yeah.
so
One to
if you're,
reschedule.
interested in interviewing all of the applicants, that would be a total of 3 more.
Yeah. do it? You wanna do them separate, separate days?
Whenever they're available, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're not available about before, right? Okay.
You get charged for next, how long that meeting you're gonna take after the first one, so.
Yeah, no.
You know, so, you know,
Do 'em.
it'd be nice to do them like, I won't give a half a hurry on you if he says I'm gonna get them over and,
Yeah, we give them till 6 o'clock to be done. 3, yeah, it'd be at least an hour apiece.
The problem is if you try and do them all at once, then you got some people just sitting there waiting.
Oh, we could be waiting for
Yeah.
the next one to come in.
But I think what, if we could do one a day,
Okay. You want,
I could
either way is good for me.
we can come in at 4.
Yeah,
Do them. So if you can line people up for 4 o'clock
on different days.
on different days.
what's the second one, yeah, is that Joe?
Yeah. Joe and Chief Thomas. Yeah.
And I think for the time being, we've got enough applicants, so we're not running more ads, are we?
In terms of custodial assistance, Megan's father is offered the Randy's played out, unfortunately. So it sounds like he's gonna be out for quite a while. So Megan's father is offered to come in and do the custodial work for us.
We've already had him on the payroll
Yeah,
for mowing, so I think if we could come in and do that, that'd be fine.
that'd be great.
Yep.
Yep. So you give him a call, Robin, and
Okay.
Personnel policy finalization, special town meeting.
Okay. We need to have a public hearing before we have a
Yeah.
special town meeting. Because there's going to be significant updates to it. So that means I need to finalize the draft. I think we've spent 6 months going over it last year, refining it and changing it and whatnot, and I've never just finalized it, but, I'll do it, I'll get it ready, and we'll schedule a public hearing and then a special town meeting on it.
Has that been, we haven't, met as a group for the personnel yet. We haven't.
Not recently.
You wanna do that first, or?
Probably ought to bring Dale up to speed.
You have your detail up to speed,
I've got months.
To make sure everything's finalized to everybody's satisfaction, to
Yeah.
the best of our ability.
Yes. So we don't have any surprises after everything
So
is finalized, and
Certain people quit asking questions.
I always ask questions.
I think we've got most of it. Okay.
So do you wanna schedule, like an employee meeting?
Yeah. It's our monthly Wednesday.
yeah, we got.
So we would be looking at the first week of December, is that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
first Wednesday.
all right,
First
so we're gonna be pushing this out a little bit then,
Yeah.
process.
Well, like I say, I've gotta get in to finalize it.
Okay. So, first week of December, first Wednesday.
Things are gonna get busy here, folks. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Roberts Lane, Stamp Pond complaint. That's what you folks are here for. So, things aren't right there. Don, what's your perspective on that? You went out and checked it out, and
Yes, we did. And they moved the house back from the pond about a year and a half ago, I'm gonna say, about 20 feet, somewhere between 19 and 21 or 2. And that's why the power lines were drooped down. And they've been waiting on the power company to come and shorten the wires up, so it wouldn't be down quite so low. And they have a permit to, on the roadside of the building, to put a mudroom and a deck, which I gave them.
and the septic tank?
They put in a brand new septic system, again, about a year and a half ago when they were moving the house back. And that was going in just about a year and a half ago.
So there's no report on if the old tank was pumped out, destroyed?
That's my understanding that it was.
It was. But there's nothing in, you don't have anything on record about that, huh?
No, but that's generally the procedure.
Before you put a new one in, you have to,
Right.
right.
They pumped them out, they either remove them or they fill them up with sand or something like that, depending on what the situation is.
The new tank is not put where the old tank was. I had plans drawn up by Ken Gardner.
Okay.
So it's further away from the house, and it's a big, I believe it's 10 by 40.
So you guys own the
tank
house
in the field.
in
I do.
question, right?
I do.
You do? Okay. As far as, I'm concerned, Don's been out there looking at it and, got his stamp of approval on it, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, we depend on the code officer to,
Well, the issue there is, I'm the neighbor right next door, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Got nothing to do with you. So what it is that house was jacked, and before it was jacked, there's always water underneath for months and months. And the neighbors all see it. And then, once it gets warm enough, it will dissipate, it'll be gone.
Got it? Okay.
So when this project started, I had asked about, I was talking to the people that were jacking it, and they said what it was they were just gonna lift it. It's supposed to be pulled forward towards the driveway, 25 feet, 20 to 25 feet. I marked it out for cattle. It was never moved 25 feet.
We moved 20.
So now,
Ask when.
the bump out on the water side, on the pond side, is gone 3 feet closer to the pond. Now, when I talked to the DEP, they said there should be something here. It should be from the planning board or from you people that should give us specifications on it.
Why do you keep?
And there isn't any.
Don, what?
Do you want me to go and get the file, because I have photographs of the house where it was and where it was moved to?
Yeah.
And the stairs coming down from the building on the lake side were taken off when they moved the house. And they proposed just to put them back, but it's 25 or 20 feet further back from the pond than it was before. I can get what I've got,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
You've got a minute, I will go pick it out.
Thank you.
Because there's neighbors on both sides that are saying nothing seems to be right. So I had asked them when they were doing the site work, you know, did they shoot any grades or anything?
They
Because
did.
I'm talking,
Well, I'm
please.
telling you, they did.
So there's 2 places on each side of that dwelling. And what happened, that nobody has water. They've been pumping water for months and months.
No, that's
that
not
is
true.
That is not.
The neighbors say,
The neighbors.
look, they just pump it. Neighbors on both sides.
No, no, Mr. Foley did not
Did
say
not
that.
say that.
You put words in his mouth.
No.
Yeah.
So they're pumping everything out of the basement and it's going into the pond.
No,
It's pumping out through the driveway where Dawn said it needed to go.
I'm the one that told them that it
We
should
don't
go
care. It's not your
that
property.
way.
I've got a pretty good file here altogether.
Okay.
Do you want me to bring it over there?
Yeah,
and,
point out, yeah.
I don't really know.
What's going on?
I guess if you have
Like
any
harassment,
questions,
you
I can tell you, I can show you. These are pictures here of when it was jacked up. And underneath. This is on the roadside, and she wants to put a mudroom right here on the deck. That's on the roadside, right? And this is from when the septic system was going in. This is the new septic system, cement.
The new septic is fine. I
Okay.
mean, you had plans and everything else on it, but there's no plans and there's nothing that tells anything about that being lifted and moved forward. I marked it out myself.
Why do you care?
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you, Sarah.
I'm just asking you, because you
Yeah.
wouldn't talk to her before. Why do you care? Why are you
If I'm gonna talk to
harassing
her,
her?
talk to her.
You
not
wouldn't talk to her. You said you didn't even contest it.
Well,
It's harassing.
there are pictures right here of where
Yeah.
it was, and the foundation's back here, they moved it back.
And that, okay. That's put a picture there, but it looks like it got moved back, well, the length of the house back to here,
Right, which would be about 20 feet, give or take.
away from the pond.
And when they moved it back, the power line that fed it, sagged down, and they tied it up in the tree with a rope, which they often do until Pennsylvania Power could get there and change it. But you can see the foundation,
Yeah.
and the building is being moved back onto that. So to say the building wasn't moved, I think is not quite accurate.
It's not accurate.
It is accurate.
You don't think it was moved?
Not that distance.
20 feet.
I marked it out personally.
We've got photographs of it. right
You're not the
here.
code enforcement officer or the property owner. And he checked it. Wes checked it. They've all checked it. She's had permits for everything.
To move that, it would have been 25 feet. It would have given, I had the distance from the corner of where it was gonna be moved to the garage. And she was a little concerned because it was gonna narrow that up.
Right.
So that tells you right there that it didn't get moved the way it was supposed to be.
And Steve had a conversation with Wes, and Wes said it didn't matter if we moved it 20 or 25 feet, as long as it came back from the pond, which is exactly what.
Put it wherever you want.
Right, I believe.
But
As long as it's
Right,
about
it's
20
about
feet.
20 feet,
Yeah.
a little bit more, so.
It was really close to the pond, and now it's 20 feet back.
7 foot from the pond.
It was tight.
I went
So
out
it
and
could be
cleared my
19,
7
it could be
feet.
21, but it's
What's
20
the big
feet.
issue, I guess? So what's the big issue?
We don't know. Ask him.
The
Why does he
issue
care?
is-
Why does he care?
I had talked to Don before on it, and he looked at it, and he said he was gonna look into it.
He did.
Right,
Right.
which I did.
But the thing is, to put 3 feet of whatever on the water side, now you're encroaching into the watershed area. Now, I talked to
Keep the water out of the
them,
house.
It's essentially what was taken off, so by putting those stairs back from the back door, they're 20 feet further back from the water line than they were.
Right.
And that's all they're doing on that side.
but it was all, it was just temporary stuff because it was a cottage.
You can.
And now it's gone to making it into a dwelling, a real dwelling.
So is yours.
Well, this, you did the same thing, sir, but
You
here
did
is
the
the
same
back
thing to
door
your
on
house.
the lake side, and the stairs went down to
Everything that
the
was
step.
tied up in
And it was
it's done,
on the
it's done.
side.
This is simple, we have permits for everything, you're just harassing her. And then you said you didn't contest it to her face, on Sunday. She said, why are you doing this? And you said, I didn't do
Oh,
anything.
my God, you better just calm down.
Oh, you need to just calm down.
Yeah.
You're harassing
To
her.
let you know, just to remind you that, cement stepping pad is still there, we did not remove it. So you can go and see where it is on the property, where we used to actually come down the back stairs, and how close it was to the water, we didn't take it out yet.
Well, when I was over there,
Yeah.
checking everything out, we give
What's your name, sir?
from that.
Walter, he was checked.
Well, Walter,
And when I talked to the DEP, they said, what's the story with the old tank? I knew where it was. And they said there should be paperwork for you people that should say that what was done to that. Was it taken out? Was it crushed? Was it filled? And there is.
It was, the house is sitting where it was, there's a cellar now.
Foundation.
There's a cellar where it used to be. It was dug out, it was removed. Absolutely, absolutely.
Because it was in the way of moving the house
The
back.
septic system man did all of that. That's just, you
The
know.
old tank would be 10 feet from where the house sat. If it came forward, it still would be there.
so Walter, what is the
It's
impact
not
on your
there.
property?
Impact on mine?
None.
It's just, everything there is just a mess. People on both sides of
That's
me.
not true.
I'm asking is, what is the impact on you that they've altered their property?
Because I don't think anything is being taken care of at all.
That's not true.
Oh, my God.
In what way?
Call me names.
It's just a mess. Nothing
It's not.
ever, nothing
It's not.
ever
It's
gets
just not up to
cleaned up.
your specifications.
Nothing
It's
ever
not
gets
your house.
cleaned up, stuff. There was a little gable roof over a door. So, that got ripped off, it's been sitting in the yard with posts and everything else, everything gets ripped off and stays there.
We just got the door today from Home Depot. We had to order the door. It took over 6 weeks to get the door. Now we can put the door in where the gable part is, and that can be finished, and the rest of the stuff will be moved.
didn't
Now
live
we want
there.
to start working on the mudroom, but we didn't start working on it to make sure that everything was okay.
Don
So
had
we're
said to me
waiting.
These are
before,
uncles.
Before the snow comes.
Don said to me before that you have to look at it, he can't give him an occupancy permit. There's only one means of egress to that floor area. Well, how can you live in there? He told me, there's no way that you can occupy it and get a permit to say that it's
When she
okay.
puts the steps back, she will have two ways in and out, one in the back and one in the front, which is why she.
Yeah, but how can you occupy it now when there's only one means of egress?
So we have windows.
You can't jump out a window from here and jump out.
You can. You're just harassing her.
She
You're
has
just
an
harassing
open
her
permit
because
to
you feel like.
construct what she needs to do.
Right.
And that's often the case when people change a house or move it. But the plans call for having both a door in the front and the back. And
Right.
when that work is done, they'll get an occupancy permit stating all that work has been done.
But the whole thing is, once the foundation is put in place,
It's fine.
she actually wanted to just have some type of modification done so there would be no lally columns, no posts. And that whole thing changed.
Walter, I would ask that you not speak for them as to what they want, because you can't say that. We'll let them speak to what they want, but what I
When
would.
she asked me, that's what she wanted.
It's not finished and you didn't do the work.
I'm saying is, don't speak for what somebody else wants. But what I would say is that it's a work in progress. It might be a little bit messy between now and when it's finished, but there's no violation of town ordinances.
There's a 10,
And,
18 or 20.
Dawn has looked at it and said that there's no problem, and, I think that's, as far as we're concerned at this point, we need to leave them alone.
Yeah, no,
Let
it's
them
just.
do the work.
I had been, because Don told me to talk to the DEP, I did. And they gave me pages and pages of what you have to look for.
Yep, good.
And if you look at that, it doesn't comply with what has been done. Now, if you did the site work there,
I don't want to talk about it anymore. We have a code enforcement
Yeah.
officer that does it, and he's looked at it, and I think they say it's a work in progress. He hasn't found any violations yet. So, thank you for your attention
Yeah.
to it, and, concerned about, I guess, just what their property looks like. That's what your main concern is what their property looks like right now.
Yeah, but it's not only my concern, even the neighbors.
No.
I'd wanna see the neighbors come
Yeah.
and tell us exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's hearsay, it's, you know.
Well, there should be some names on one of those sheets that I had given you.
And in fairness, when the property's under construction, either from being moved or built or remodeled, there are building materials brought in, and you do see things being torn off and piled up, and those things get corrected in the process of construction.
Yeah, but you wanna work neatly or comfortably, so you just leave everything crawl over it?
Well, that would be up to the people doing the work. There's no
Yeah.
law that says they have to, every time they take off the board, it has to be packaged and removed.
No, I'm not saying that, Don. I'm just saying that you can neaten things up somewhat. People go by in the kayaks and they go, oh, what is with the mess?
They do not.
Nobody does that. Just one person is gonna complain. I don't see any more people here.
Jim, I make a motion that we table this issue, and move on to something else, because I don't find that we have any actionable requirement to do anything.
And I'll second that. In favor? Yeah. You wanna, it's their complaint.
Oh, sure, I can,
Yeah.
I've got it all right in this.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. You Don.
Take care.
Okay.
He's her uncle. It's her uncle.
My dad and I started it, and he died last July, so.
Has there been hard feelings between two of you?
Well, you don't know, for no reason. He calls here 3 to 4 times a day, we've been told.
He's arrested.
He
before.
harasses everyone who steps foot on her property.
Ah.
I know we should have, he's taken my husband out, Steve Connolly. He's,
We had licensed professionals that
it's so
we hired.
really
to do
bad.
digging, to do the
It's
living.
really bad.
On a different note, I just wanted to make sure that we were gonna cover the paving bid tonight. It wasn't on the agenda, I wanted to make sure we got to it before we, moved to.
Okay.
We should do that next.
Okay, well, yeah. Sorry, I got to go through that, but we trust
Thank
Don,
you.
with Don's word, and he says it's okay.
I know.
I've done everything above the board, always.
He's just gonna come back with
consulted.
something else next week.
Yeah.
He just
Well,
keeps doing it.
He's gonna ask the Brian for some reason. Paving bid.
Right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
No, I don't have, no,
We open them wide.
listen to the rest of it.
So,
It's our town that we live in, so,
do we have somebody here from Carroll?
Yes, sir, I'm right here.
Yeah, okay. So looking at the paving bids, we saw that there was, I think Chris has talked to you, that there was, in your bid, there was only a tack coat for the existing paving, but not between the two lifts.
Yeah, if it eases any, I've never had a chance to talk to Chris again, I called him, he doesn't answer his phone. So, if you want a tack coat on the second lift, I mean, that's not an issue. Typically, our tack would be incidental with paving anyways. This just happened to have a tack component in the bid. So, like I say, typically, we would put it as part of our pavement. So, if it would ease the board's feelings about that, I will make sure we tack both holes.
Okay. So,
And just so you know, a lot of times we don't, we set right back and pave at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So you have a clean coat that hasn't been dirtied up by other people. A lot of times we don't tack, it's already off, we're just backing on with. But if everybody's, would feel better about it, we'll certainly tack those.
And so the bid remains the same?
Yeah, no, we won't change the dollar amount.
And so, if you would come and annotate your bid with what you think the gallons of.
Well, it'd be basically double what there is there.
Okay, if you would annotate that.
Or I could either, put the, tack will be applicated at both, however you would prefer me to write it, I don't.
Yeah, you could just put tack after both lifts, or before both lifts.
Tack, for both lifts of asphalt applied, and give you an approximate gallons. So you had, 625 there. Approximately. I'll put my initials on that. That's what you be careful. Yep. Very good.
Materials, all state materials, I guess, still the low bidder.
Okay. Do I have a motion, I make a motion that we accept, the bid.
Second.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Awarded to Carroll's Materials, all state. Good.
So I'll be in touch, Chris, and we'll make plans for spring.
Sounds good.
Okay. So my only question would be, do you have any work to do to the road currently?
Just McNeil, I got one culvert to replace in McNeil Road.
So, I mean, you don't have much time to spend there. The only reason I ask is because there's no asphalt excavator on the job, so I'd like to get it done as soon as you can.
Yep, it'll be first thing in the spring, it should be ready to go.
Okay, perfect. I'll be in touch. Thank you all very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. I'm sorry, I totally forgot. Could I possibly get the bid tabs? What I mean by bid tabs is, just a copy of the other bids that were sent in, should be public information at this point. Shaw, and the other one was, Clinton, I believe.
Make copies of the other one.
Would you like to see that?
With the actual bid document.
Robin, we'll make copies of that.
I don't really mean to interrupt your meeting. If you won't want it, you can send those to me later, or if you don't mind doing it now.
No, that's okay.
If you don't mind. Thanks so much. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. All right. That being said, reminders, we have a senior luncheon tomorrow at noon time, and a comprehensive plan at 2:00 on Thursday. Questions and comments? Any all set? You guys got anything else? All set?
Just a heartfelt thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Don, you?
I think I've had enough.
Thank you.
Well,
You're welcome.
Yeah, you got anything?
I was just watching.
This is for Sandra.
That's your sister?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was moved into the house, the old Johnson house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Welcome to the neighborhood. Mary, you got anything?
No, I don't.
Chad?
No.
Tom, how you doing?
Just a question, if we buy 2 new trucks for plowing, does that replace 2 bad trucks that aren't gonna be back in the service?
Probably, yes. They're so bad that they can't go back in the service.
So there's a certain amount of money that we've already invested in determining whether they're repairable or not, or?
So, I'll answer the question for you. One of them we currently use, one truck we currently use, when we bought the 24, which is the one we build spec, that's currently waiting to be delivered, and then has to be outfitted because it's just a cab and jack as of right now. So, when we built that truck, we were moving one of our trucks to become a backup truck into the fleet. And then our backup truck is unrepairable. In the words of, I've had two people that can tell me. One of them said, it's probably not worth the diesel fuel to haul it over to the scrap yard. It's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, so that's out of the picture already.
Unless you wanna spend a lot of money to fix it.
Well,
I mean, the motor's good, but the cab and the frame's in really rough shape, and the body's junk. So it's a long ways away from ever being actually repairable, per se. And that's kind of where we got put into this position a little bit. And part of it was because that other truck was so far out. The other part of it is the 21 International that we bought a couple of years back that we're in a lease for. So in the last now it's probably the last year, I'll say. In February, it went in to the mechanic, to the dealership, because the springs were completely off-kiltered, offset, the spring packs were all whack, and the brakes kept coming out of adjustment. They're self-adjusting brakes. So they redid all the center bolts, redid the U-bolts, redid the spring packs, put all new spring packs back in February. And it was about 2 months ago, it has the same exact problem. So, and this time it's worn it's not worn through. It's worn very large grooves and worn a lot of surface area on the rear end. And the dealership basically told us, we can't put it back together because of it. We're gonna warranty it, but we have no ship date for the new one.
So ideally, we would like to have 2 functioning trucks.
Correct, and a spare.
Okay.
Because, well, in the middle of the storm,
Yeah.
you know, if you have a breakdown, it's broke down. So currently, if the old truck that we have down there that isn't usable was usable, we'd have 2 trucks and a spare. The idea of it is that with the 24 we would purchase, it would move our 2009 truck to a backup truck. The Sterling, which is down there, which is a 1990 or 89, 2000, okay, I guess it's a little bit of so the 2000 truck would go to the scrap yard, basically. There's certain things you could take off from it to part out and sell, but the truck itself is pretty well scrapped.
So you're waiting on one that's already been ordered?
Yep, we ordered it.
And we're thinking of getting another one?
But
how we gotta plow snow between now and then. I mean,
it's sitting in a dealer right now. If we could get the money approved, we could go buy it tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah, so
This really sounds like what we need to do.
Yeah, so that's where it comes in. So the one we were talking about at the town meeting, that we have to move the money around for.
Yeah.
That is a brand new truck. It's completely outfitted, ready to go. We could drive it home and plow snow tonight.
Okay.
It's currently sitting in New Hampshire at a dealership. I've talked to the owner of the dealership. He's holding, if you will, and that's a light holding, because cash talks, and if somebody comes in and wants to buy it, he'll call us and say, where do you stand on this? You know, but he also has a business to run, which I understand.
Sure.
I can't expect him to hold it.
So we're on the right track then, try and get approval for it.
Yeah, and we're gonna schedule a special town meeting ASAP, get money approved by what town vote, because that's the way it has to be done. Good.
Okay, trying.
How long does it take to schedule a special town meeting?
Depends on when we do it. But usually it takes about 2 weeks because of the lead times.
Notice of notification.
That's if we don't have to have a public meeting.
Yeah,
Public hearing.
we don't need one on this.
Yeah.
But,
Yep. Anything else, Paul?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
Howard, you got anything back there? No, what's that? Stevie? Chris, you got anything?
I think I pretty much told you everything I have. The only other thing that I wanna know is when we're gonna do the town meeting.
I haven't looked at the schedule, but it will,
Soon as possible.
as soon as possible, I think.
If we have to put it in the shopper's guide, it would go in on Monday, which means you could have it on the 28th, which would be the next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not this next Tuesday, but Tuesday after.
Yep.
Or Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Unless you wanna do it sooner than that. But I think you have to put it in the shopper's guide for 7 days, right?
That will be the plan.
You wanna do that?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Okay,
So you can sell the deal with it.
I'll tell them that that's our date, and
Yeah.
hopefully on the 29th, we can go buy a new truck.
Tell me we've got the money to do it.
Yeah, and we've had that conversation, and he basically asked, well, is it a for sure thing? And I said, well, I can't say for sure, because the townspeople have the vote. And I said, the money's all there, it's just a matter of allocating it
Moving it
to
around.
that account so we can purchase it. And that's the conversation I had with him. And he says, okay, I'm gonna put it on the note that we're gonna basically hold it for you. But if somebody walks in and says, we want this truck, here's the money, they'll call us and see where we're at, and I don't know.
Just ask if we can hold a little bit longer.
I know, right? So I will talk to him tomorrow and let him know when our date is for sure.
It sounds pretty positive anyway.
He's been great to deal with,
Yeah.
phenomenal to deal with,
I'm sure
it's
it's
been
gonna go
amazing to work with, so.
If you come here to that town meeting and plead and beg and. Oh, you just in time. You said this. Have you got anything?
No.
Hey, it was pointed out that you might not have any firefighters.
Oh, yeah?
You just approved the
Yeah.
warrant, and you were supposed to appoint them, have you appointed them yet?
Appointed them? Oh, yeah, they've been appointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lane's probably a little premature on that. But, all right, well, back in the office, we gotta appoint all these now. No, I actually, don't have much besides a thank you for helping get this part done. This is a long time coming, and a lot of work in there. I'm really proud of it, and you guys should be too. It's a really good layer of protection and a future for Malden Fire Department, so.
Right, yeah.
I appreciate all your guys' support.
We're moving forward, yeah.
One of the best things that can happen for town public safety, so, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep pushing the rock. Appreciate it.
Have you got the report back from the state yet?
I will let you know by Monday.
Oh.
I will give you a full update, everything by Monday.
Okay.
As of Thursday, I am back in service.
Oh, okay.
So, almost done.
You still?
This is my,
Yeah.
this is my 10th day straight of work, so, I honestly didn't get a good answer.
Aren't they supposed to contact us as well,
Yeah.
separately?
Yeah, I haven't received any report on my end either from my department. She did say anywhere from 30 to 90 days, and that typically it happens within 60. So we're right around that 60-day mark.
Yeah,
But
oh, yeah.
technically she has another 30 days, so. But I couldn't give you that with like pure accuracy, like I said, I'll be able to catch up with them on Monday for sure. So, you guys, looking forward to it. Being away from something that you take care of all the time, can be well, that's diet producing, so we'll get it back straight this week.
That's what you got all of it taken care of,
Yeah.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's documentation based, and, all of our documents are straight, which is really good. She was very helpful in giving us all the things that we needed in order to make sure that we were in good compliance, and so we just made sure those documents were filled out properly.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody needs to be signed off on each individual truck who's driving them, they need a proper licensure to drive that truck, and they need to show that they have hours of training in that driving. A lot of, everybody who drives now does.
Right, yeah.
So, that was a big one, and a couple of simple things like GFCI outlets at the fire station, that's pretty easy, so.
Okay, good. What's that, you got?
Yes, hi, nice to have you over again.
I just wanna say, we don't wanna hear the poems tonight. We're not here for literary,
Yeah,
things.
yeah, I figured I'd probably wait till we have the meeting and then read it then, but if we have time to put it in there. But,
Excuse me, I'm sorry, just a second.
But I was wondering, I've got the 31, petition, people on their petition here in Baldwin, and the 79 in Cornish, and they all want to see that bridge made. And 'cause, as I believe I told you guys before, that the Cornish people kinda, got left out because the town office changed the date of the vote.
All right, okay, we don't need to go through all that.
Yeah, okay.
Heard it, but, let me just say that, as I told you in the email, we're holding this topic for to combine it with another special town meeting, and we've just got one. So it looks like probably on the 28th, it will be another warrant item. One will be to approve the transfer of funds for the truck, and then the other one will be, related to the naming of the bridge.
Oh, wonderful.
And I just wanna make sure that, what the warrant item stipulates is what you're expecting, because we understand that you want the town selectmen to send a letter to some state agency stating that we support changing the name or naming the bridge. We support the proposal. That we are not going to change the name of the bridge. The town is not going to. We don't have the authority. It's the state, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. And so originally when we spoke, it was that the town that you wanted the selectmen to sign a letter,
Yeah,
and that's what will be on the warrant, that the people of the town agree that the selectmen should sign a letter supporting the naming of the bridge. And then, once that's done, it will be up to you then to take that letter to whatever state agency that you're working with and to let them do their thing. Okay?
that's where I didn't know what was gonna happen once all this
Yep.
was done with the town, if we were gonna have to put in a bill, and that's why,
Well,
and I didn't know if that was gonna have to happen, or if we just do a letter and send it to Troy Jackson, or our Senator Jim Libby, and see where it goes there. That's
Yeah.
where I didn't know what was gonna happen.
So, your petition wasn't very specific. Usually we look for a petition to say specifically what is going to happen, but we'll take care of that.
Okay.
And as long as you agree that the warrant item will say, the selectmen will sign a letter supporting, based on the vote of the townspeople, supporting the naming of the bridge, Veterans Memorial Bridge.
Okay.
And then it's going to be up to you to take that letter and make something happen.
Okay.
All right?
That sounds fair to me.
Yep, good.
And not to change the subject, but, David Whitney and his son Blaze, they own the, two places next to me, they rent them, and he's had a nice plow truck out there, the plow line for sale, so I just thought I'd, just in case.
I think we've talked about that one.
Okay.
Whether we wanna buy a used truck or a new one, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
A new one would be better, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They probably have more problems with a used one.
Yeah, you never know, you know?
Okay, so then, when this next, special town meeting is, what's the date on that again?
Well, right now, it looks like it's gonna be the 28th, November.
Oh, well, okay.
We're trying to get it right away.
And it'll be at 6 o'clock,
Probably.
Yeah.
okay, all right.
And again, hopefully it'll be a quick one, like we have right now. Like we had tonight.
And I appreciate you having me back, you know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a pest, but I wanna do this for our veterans, and all these other people do too, so it's about our veterans, not me or you or
Yep.
about them. Oh, yeah, you're a veteran. Can't leave you out.
All right, thank you for
Thank you
coming.
very much. Good night, everybody.
Hi.
Good night.
You got anything?
No, good.
You got anything, Robin? I don't want to get you over there. I get trouble by marriage. I'll get trouble by marriage if I forget you.
Yes, you will.
No, Bob, you got anything? Okay, I get a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.